Welcome. In this video, we're diving into how you can bring your stash changes back into your project. We'll explore the two main commands for this: git stash apply and git stash pop, and find out when to use each one. First, a quick reminder of what a git stash is. Think of it as a temporary hiding place for your work. When you're in the middle of something but need to switch tasks, you can stash your changes. This action saves your modifications and gives you a clean working slate, so you can start fresh on something new without having to make a commit. So, when would you need to get those stashed changes back? A classic example is when you've stashed your work on a feature to handle an urgent bug fix. Once the bug is squashed, you'll want to return to your feature branch and continue right where you left off. Another common scenario is when you realize the work you stashed on one branch is actually needed on another. You'll need a way to move those changes over. Let's start with the first command, git stash apply. This is the cautious way to restore your work. When you run git stash apply, it takes the changes from your most recent stash and puts them back into your working directory. The key thing to remember is that the stash itself is not deleted. It remains in your stash list, just in case you need it again. To use it, you can simply type git stash apply to bring back the latest set of changes you stashed. But what if you have multiple stashes? First, you can view all of your stashes by running git stash list. This will give you an identifier for each one, like stash at 0, stash at 1, and so on. To apply a specific one, just add its identifier to the command, like git stash apply stash at 2. The main benefit of using apply is safety. Because the stash isn't automatically deleted, you have a safety net. If you apply the changes and run into unexpected problems or conflicts, you can easily reset and your original stash is still safe and sound. It's also great for reusability. You can apply the same stash to several different branches, which can be very useful. Now let's look at the other command, git stash pop. This one is like a combination of apply and delete. It takes the stashed changes and places them in your working directory, and if it does so successfully, it immediately removes that stash from your list. It's an efficient way to restore your work when you're sure you won't need that stash again. Using pop is very similar to apply. Running git stash pop without any arguments will apply and remove the most recent stash. You'll see a message confirming that the stash was dropped. If you need to pop an older stash, you can use git stash list to find its identifier and then run a command like git stash pop stash at 1. Let's put them side by side. Both commands restore stash changes. The big difference is what happens after. Git stash apply keeps the stash on your list, making it the safer, more flexible option. Git stash pop, on the other hand, deletes the stash after a successful application, making it a good choice for quick, one-and-done restores. What if you try to apply a stash and it conflicts with other changes you've made? This can happen, but Git handles it gracefully. If you use git stash pop and a merge conflict occurs, Git will not delete the stash. In this situation, pop behaves exactly like apply. It leaves the stash in your list so you can resolve the conflicts and then manually drop the stash later when you're sure you don't need it. To wrap things up, use git stash apply when you need to be extra careful or if you plan on using the same stashed changes on multiple branches. Go with git stash pop for the everyday scenario where you just want to restore your work and move on. And finally, always remember to keep your stash list clean. If you use apply and no longer need the stash, you can remove it manually with the git stash drop command.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.